Mr. Lynch, live, sorry, live, whatever. Good morning, messo simple, messo simple, or 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 simple, it's March, sorry but yesterday's it, February, obviously, it was March 9, yesterday, today is March, today it's March 10, already 10 days on this March 2026, 2026, the one that didn't live, sono living according to the Bible, so engine is one and vice versa, this is one and syntax is no? It's 13 and 46 minutes, 6 8 9 mainly quello che si ovviamente sia dei spin really spin atmosphere, but this is last practically 15 days, and obviously we also to spin in 13 days, and this has been needed in 1 year will be in spin, and yes, sometimes news is pura, principal aspect for the appearance of support for a single Подсказать спасами, собственно, элемент предположения спасами, проборы. Secretary Camargas Caduto, down submitted community summit very particular on 16th PM in Italy, whereas absolutely imaging for bodies of body and Chinese could be, I'm sure that traces the some sin, society simultaneously for the close recognition to Chinese, veteran for the the reducing television so the Finsan Beauty is effective for the automatic energy source society già per esistere via sa capacity anche a livello di limite tra i miei questi dimensioni della risulta che but no, consider periods to inter school week completion the complete when incidents absolutely incomplete many film refer to in particular apps your forum is appear to for the fact don't feel cold feel lesson I don't feel that questo risolve practice follow about particular to practice follow the semester which all for goal nel campo winter period winter reports period always about competition che spiegare practice che se volete in questa in the first part of the comedy dynasty surface so many studies from what is practice here repeat the first part of read of or see first part of the one disaster is going for sure più che ti vengono notti il fatto che il core netti finché adesso di evento netti finché 95% feel cool or in general in some way for me questo è instead ma scatto su stesso in genere finché che in sé sembra meglio se gli wood at least seems like a some film finché 3% di servizi si furono 6 in it fan 16 Celsius l'importante in questa atmosfera ci vedi si for today yeah it's beautiful. News causing shown us nuovamente se today you in fact see on the them in live near BNM and now I see 3 things related to engine section in particular. First thing is that now I sing an extract better refrain from classic one song sulle mie because this thing is became habitually my last passame perhaps non remember for me last passame finché body so manato sola chiude o sola mia san fronte a te o sola su me san fronte a te che san fronte a me san fronte a te che sembra che busca se già sono io mente e si second thing that ma secondo te sì sì, si scena totally is beautiful indeed, it's a surprise scena in content sense, and other things that perhaps not bit in case it's impossible to be like this to see scena so che siete richiesti until now, tensity PH, lisan iskab, tensity PH, ġivar suman tifon, man sakwez una għasta sar kutub na before secretary bin nun for now in lisan iskab for other practically yes 3 hours, no 4 hours and a half and yes maximum 35 to 40 minutes maximum less in comparison ball and computing time or according to my judgment we also can use the term schedule at time well so